Welcome to the Spaghetti Sessions, where we untangle the brain spaghetti of the Zula Monkey universe. I'm your host, Paula Talesian, and I'm here with Oozed and Dead Carl. Hello, Oozed.
Oh,
Hello, Dead Carl. So, you two had an interesting autumn. And so I wanted to bring you both together to sort of talk about that because I think there's some unresolved feelings and tensions between the both of you.
well, for my part, I never meant any harm. I just, really wanted to procreate with perhaps the single most perfect vision of hosting I've ever seen. Well, I mean, even you must be getting sick of your right hand, mustn't you? I'm surprised you haven't had to regenerate it more than you already have. I tremble to think how many little Carlitos you've got through. Wouldn't I be better than all of that? Well, like what? What else do you have to offer? Ooh. Yes, but go on, I fuck really good.
Dead Carl did list a lot of his really good traits. I mean, we have to acknowledge that he does have a lot to offer.
Well, many of my hosts in history have had many good things to offer. Uh, I am interested in the whole package, but to be fair, um, I'm more interested in Descartes' more obvious talents. I mean, imagine how many times we could breed. That seems more obvious than his singing voice, doesn't it?
It seems to me like Dead Carl is gonna be nominated for a Grammy at some point.
Would that be before or after we breed? Look, I don't know if you know this, Carl, but there are advantages to hosting a hernu, you know? Maybe you should chat to Corley about it. She was perfectly happy too. Oh,
So let's talk about your species, the Hernu. We don't know a heck of a lot about you other than what we've been told, which is in air quotes, space parasite. Can you give us any more information?
it is the curse of my species to be referred to as a parasite, which I think is just very rude. But that's what life is like in the galaxy. It's a very cold, dark place. But basically, my species has become known as a parasite because we do rather latch on. But that's just how we're made. We have to latch on, we have to extend our breeding tube, implant our young, and then it's just somewhat unfortunate for our host that our young tend to, burst out as catastrophically as they do. We're just trying to get by. I mean, even your Earth reproduction, you have things bursting out of you, don't you? I don't know why I'm looked down upon throughout the galaxy for being something terrible. But lately, of course, medical advances have been pretty good throughout the galaxy. Quite often, People can survive hosting a Hernu now, even if they don't have dead Carl's spectacular skills of regeneration. Oh.
So, are you looking for just a host, or will there be any like genetic mixing that happens between your young and the host?
Well, any genetic mixing does tend to be minimal, but I must admit I've never had a host who's dead before. I don't know what might happen, but the young tend to be mine, and the host tends to be just a space to nurture them. But there is inevitably a certain amount of genetic transfer. It often becomes the case that a little bit of my DNA remains in the host, and a little bit of their DNA will forever remain in mine. Oh.
So, what parts of Kure that we know have been impacted by being a host for your previous progeny?
Cole Raz warned me that you've got a one-track mind. Well, it just means, fortunately, could a species regenerate entirely and have a whole new life. But it does mean that my DNA has sort of lingered within, becoming intertwined. I'm not really a scientist, to be honest, Paula. I'm more focused on the doing and not so much the whys. Do you know what I mean? Well, so all I know is that as much as Kure wishes to protest, there's a part of her that's always mine. No. It's the way of the world, DC. Broaden your horizons. Why don't you let me show you? No.
I think DC wants to be valued as more than just a moist bag to grow offspring.
Oh, moist bag. Ah. Yes, yes, you're delicious too. I know. I can't wait to snuffle my snout in there and have a taste. Don't say that until you've tried it.
DC, Guess the Tune has been unexpectedly popular. How does that feel? I'm thinking, I 100% agree, but I'm thinking also that you need to think bigger and think about having a fan club and all sorts of extra things like sending out signed photographs and doing an OnlyFans for your greatest followers and admirers. What do you think of that? Awesome. Awesome. So your potential relationship with Oozed is definitely off the table then.
Yes, you do deserve more, and I will praise you like the host deserves. But, you know, then my young will come bursting out of you. That's just how it works. Oh.
I think it would be hilarious if DC agreed and felt respected and created Hernu with ginger Hernu, basically, with red hair like DC's. That would be hilarious.
Oh, I don't really understand this earth humor, but there we go.
I don't understand my own humor anyway, so there we go. Um, Are you looking forward to anything this upcoming year? We haven't seen the Empress yet. Uzed, you are a bit of a thorn in the side of the gang and an unpredictable new being on Earth. So, what are your devious, nefarious plans?
Well, I'm hardly going to tell you, am I? But I am only the produce of the galaxy's attitudes. When you spend all of your life being looked down on as a parasite, being treated like you're nothing, like you're dirt, I don't have any loyalty to anyone. I'm just trying to survive here. And I think that just means I'm honest. I'm more honest than anybody else here, aren't I? All of these lies that the monkey tells about being beautiful, and they're just deeply insecure, aren't they? They're not being honest. And the other monkey, oh, so much more dramatic. Or this, oh, I'm a poet. Oh, the depths of my feelings. They're scared of their feelings, aren't they? They're not being honest. I'm the only one being honest about what I want and how I'm going to get it. Nah.
So, you don't have loyalties to anybody but yourself and your machinations. So, where does that put the Empress?
We'll see what she has to offer me. I know which side my bread is buttered. That's one of your Earth phrases, isn't it? I hope I used it right.
Hmm.
But when I've spent all of my time, no one's cared about me. Why should I care about anyone else? That's how all my life has been.
Tragic story. How old are you, Uzed, in Earth years?
How rude!
I was just thinking we have fruit flies that live for 24 hours and humans live for roughly 90 years, depending on their location. And we have whales and tortoises that live for hundreds of years. So I'm just curious about where you fit in the life cycle. Then there's Raz and Kure, who apparently have been alive for millennia.
Don't you worry about it. Is this you applying to be a host? Don't you worry, I've got plenty of life left in me. We'll have fun if you want to be my host. Fancy it? No,
I'd need about a day in the drinks cupboard before I would agree to that.
that can be arranged. No.
Okay, absolutely. So, DC, do you have plans or things you're looking forward to in 2026? This is going to be an exciting year. That's really fantastic. Why don't you tell people about the upcoming publication that you've been thinking about?
Can I be in it? No.
You know, to be fair, I mean, DC has some big plans, which he's laid out in detail. So for anybody who's listened to that, now you know exactly what's coming up in 2026. Apparently, everybody who's listening to the podcast has to sign an NDA now or something, because he held nothing back. Yeah, well, you know what? It's always better to get things out in the open. So thanks for sharing, DC. And thank you to Uzed for coming on as well. I'm sorry that we couldn't do anything to repair your relationship with each other, but you know what? We tried. Well, not really. We made motions of trying. Uh, so beyond that, is there anything that you want to talk about before we wrap up this episode?
Yeah, seriously, how likely is it that you do want to be my host?
I don't really have much going on in the second half of 2026. Sure, why the hell not?
No. Later, DC. I've got work to do. Human, will you give me directions?
Okay, so thank you both for joining me in this episode of the Spaghetti Sessions. And thank you to our listeners for helping make season 2 possible. We have another episode for you. And you can, of course, listen to season 1 on Spotify or your favorite podcast app. And don't forget to go to ZoolaMonkey.com in order to buy merch, see where Zoola and the gang are going to be live next, and catch up on other episodes, storylines, and other fun things. We'll see you in the next episode.